What's up? It's your boy Big Reg. Bringing you, I don't even know what to call this anymore, man. It's not really a recap. This is like a requiem, I guess. A requiem of Game 3 of the Michigan Wolverines 2020 football season. A defeat to the Indiana Hoosiers. Something that hasn't happened in nearly a quarter century. And yet these are the depths that we find ourselves in. I'm not going to lie, friends. It's been a rough week. Joining me this week, though, to slog through this putridness, first, as always, producer JB.
We did it. November 3rd, we did it, folks. We did it.
Did we? Next, returning from his stint in witness protection, the one, the only, JC from Sunnyside.
That's the saddest Michigan M. Wait,
Whatever.
It went from U of M to whatever. Wow. That speaks volumes. And finally, joining us once again, the one, the only, Mr. Squarehead.
What's up, Rich? This is gonna be my favorite episode.
Is it though? Is it? All right, you know what? I'm gonna be the contrarian in the room, and I'm gonna say, all right, look, we lost 38-21, but I don't think it was that bad. I mean, like, what did we expect? 2 out of the 5 starting offensive linemen were out with injuries. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do we think was going to happen this game? You know what I mean? You know, it was what it was. Yeah, we took it out. You know, sure, we struggled a bit. But I saw a lot of positives in this game that we could build upon as we look forward to the next game against Wisconsin. But I turn it to you, my fellow Wolverines. I would like to hear where you are right now with the state of the Michigan Wolverines program. We'll start first, of course, with producer JB.
There's only a couple things that I do want to point out. One, again, our defense is just getting obliterated, abused. I feel bad for Daxton Hill. I feel bad for just the way that they're misusing Cam McGrone and Michael Barrett. Clearly, schematically, we are just like underwhelming. It's just an embarrassment. I can't stand it anymore, basically. I'm not wearing any Michigan gear right now as part of the show because I'm somewhat in the Big Reg protest of the Knicks. I am also going to protest the Michigan football team until they get rid of Don Brown.
Wow.
I understand that there's bigger issues. People can point to the head coach, and obviously one of my compatriots will continuously share his mask on there. But if we're thinking about this season right now, if we are thinking about any possible games,
This season is over.
If we're thinking
Stop talking about this season. I can't take it. This season is over. What did I say, Big Reds? 3-6. I don't even see 3 wins in this season.
Anyways.
Who are we going to beat? Come on, give me your updated predictions, buddy. Come on, producer JB. What's your prediction? Come on, JC, Sonny. Where's unnamed guest?
Unnamed guest has, yeah.
Yeah, what's your prediction? Huh? 8-1. Give me a break. I said 3-6. We're not going to even get 3 wins. Who are we going to beat? Can you bet? You're going to bet money we're going to beat Maryland? Who are we going to beat, Reg? Producer JB, who are we going to beat? Stop talking about this season.
If I could finish my point first before you start going off, Mr. Squarehead. If nothing changes, yes, I agree with you. We will not get any more wins. If at least Don Brown is fired, I feel like there's a possibility for at least one more win. One more win.
Oh boy.
Wow, one more win. You went to prediction what? 8-2. What was
No.
it? 7-2.
I said 6-3.
6-3. Come on, one more win. That'll give us 2 wins.
So, Mr. Squarehead, you said that we were going to go 5-3. So
I said 3-6.
Stop
Look at the
interrupting me.
tape.
Stop interrupting me.
3-6.
Stop interrupting. Shut up, you clown. This is like the first presidential debate. All right, just stop it.
3-6. I said 3-6. Go back and look at the tape.
Oh, my mask is coming off. Oh.
I feel like we are in the presidential debate. He keeps interrupting.
So I have to disagree with producer JB on something. This isn't like the Knicks situation. This is Don Brown does not equal James Dolan. Okay.
That's yeah.
So let's hold up a little bit there. Having said that, there's nothing positive right now about Michigan football. Nothing positive. I don't know what Big Reg was looking at on Saturday. 38-21 against Indiana. So what if we had 2 guys out? We have 4 stars all across the board. We're supposed to have a great O-line coach. They don't have a great defense. There's nothing positive I take away from this game. 0. How are we going to give up 38 points? 38. And not only that, look at the Big Ten scoreboard. Michigan State, who beat us, is getting shellacked by Iowa. They're getting beat by 40-plus points. And the worst part about it is the way we showed up to this game. The way we showed up. We walked in there thinking that we can do whatever we want. No. Then second half, the way we show up, nothing. That's all on the coaches. All on the coaches. Don Brown, Gaddis, Harbaugh, Schnua, Warner, everybody. Everybody's accountable.
Wow.
Accountability goes to the top. Jim Harbaugh should have been fired at halftime. Jim Harbaugh should have been escorted out of that stadium and said, "Hey, get on the bus and go home." Jim Harbaugh has to go. I don't care about Don Brown, Gaddis, whoever it is. Jim Harbaugh has to go. Who's going to come play for Michigan now? How are they going to recruit? Huh? Who tell me? How are they going to recruit with this clown at the head, huh? He's got to go. 3-6, my ass. They're going to be 2-7, maybe even 1-8. Who are they going to beat?
Poor Dax Hill. Poor Dax Hill. He should have stayed at Alabama. He would be a top 10 pick. He would be in the top. Poor guy chose Michigan football, and here he is. Here he is working with Don Pornstash Brown. All right, just doing nothing.
Wow.
Doing nothing. No adjustments. No, he's not fired up.
Oh, I have to take issue with that. He did make adjustments. Okay, he did mix in more zone coverage. That we see that game. Okay, now I will admit, I think he only mixed in the zone coverage just to troll people that said that he would not mix in zone coverage. That's what I think he did. It's like, oh, y'all want to see some zone coverage? Here's what it looks like when we do zone coverage. And you know what it looked like? You know how our offense is speed in space? Our defense looked like lost in space. That's what it looked like. They were absolutely clueless as what to do as far as a zone defense went. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. So I give that point. I concede that point to the prosecution.
But what kind of buffoon makes that kind of adjustment, knowing that it's going to be a total failure? But I'm going to make that adjustment because I know it's going to be a total failure just to show everybody else up. Get out of here.
It's going to be a total failure. Is it a work in progress?
Hold on a second. Why aren't we putting accountability where does Jim Harbaugh have no control of this team? Jim Harbaugh can't go to Don Brown and say, hey, the bull crap that you're doing isn't working. What is Jim Harbaugh? He just stands there in his, I guess he doesn't wear khakis anymore, but he just stands there on the sidelines and just says, oh, yeah, look, Indiana's beating us. They're setting history. Come on. What is Jim Harbaugh doing? What is he doing? Tell me.
Jim Harbaugh.
I'm going to say at this point, my mind has now switched to Mr. Squarehead in terms of the efficacy of Jim Harbaugh as a head coach. At this point in year 6, if he can't get anything done, if he can't find the right people, I mean, we've switched so many times. There's no more excuses. And yes, I think Squarehead has it right on the head that he's just a figurehead, and he's also someone who just kind of willy-dilly like comes in and says, okay, we're doing this, and then doesn't know what's going on. If you're talking about an effective head coach, and I'm sorry to compare it to like Urban Meyer or anything like that, Nick Saban, they are in the minutia of everything. They know what to do. They know who to get. They know how to change. And I feel like at this point, there's no more excuses that I can give for the coach. Again, that's beside the point. I mean, we can't even deal with that until the end of the season anyways. But right now, there's positives that are showing a little bit, glimmers of hope in the offense. I know that it's very young. They're all very young. I think Roman Wilson is a standout point. I think Blake Corum is a superstar in the making. But there's so many gaps, so many things that are just kind of left where if it was an efficiently coached team, we would be able to scrounge up something.
Corum is going to transfer before his junior year. I guarantee you, Corum is going to transfer next year, or he's going to redshirt or do something. He's not going to end his career in Michigan. There's no way. That kid is out. That kid is out of here. If he's smart, why would you play on this team for the next 3 years?
And
why?
Why are you trying to play 4 running backs with like an equal share? Why? How are they going to get continuity? What? It just, I do think Harbaugh. I don't think Harbaugh's heart is in it. I think he knows at the end of the season he's not going to. His contract is up. He's probably looking elsewhere. I think he's trying to be, but I think just mindset wise, he's not as in it.
He's not as in it. He was never in it, dude. He needs to be fired mid-season. He cannot. What has he got? 1 more year in his contract? Is that right? He's got 1 more year, right? He cannot.
This group of players are his players. This group of players are all 4-star, 5-star, some 3-star, but they're mostly 4-star. And for you to have a top 5, top 10 recruiting class and lose by 17 to Indiana and lose to Michigan State, who's like the worst team in the Big Ten.
He's got to go.
What that makes us? We're the worst team in the Big Ten because they got shellacked by 42 points against Iowa.
He's got to go.
I object, Your Honor. If I may interject for just a moment. We are not the worst team in the Big Ten. Again, the transitive property clearly states that we are at least better than Minnesota and Illinois at this point. So I would like to at least put that on the record that we are at least better than Minnesota and Illinois.
And Penn State.
Did they lose to Minnesota?
No, but Penn State's 0-3.
Then there are 3 teams that are worse than us currently in the Big Ten, Your Honor.
Honestly, what's the scenario where we keep Harbaugh? There is no scenario.
He beats Ohio State.
You think this team is going to beat Ohio State?
No, I don't.
There's absolutely no way. I don't even care if they blow out every team from now until before Ohio State by 40 points. There's no way this team is beating Ohio State.
Wow.
I do think, they're not going to hang 100 on us for the game. They're going to hang 100 on us by the freaking first half. They're freaking.
What is going on?
500 on us in the first half.
Guys, come on, let's get a grip here, please. Please. Yes, I know it's disappointing to lose last week. Yes, I concede that. Yes, I know it's disappointing to lose yesterday, but come on, realistically, what did you think was going to happen yesterday? Come on.
The way they showed up to this game, the way they were handling themselves throughout the game. No fire. Vincent Gray, get him out of here. Get him out of here, Vincent Gray. The worst cornerback, the worst number one cornerback that Michigan has ever had. James Whitley was a disappointment. Morgan Trent, disappointment. Boubacar Sissoko, disappointment. But Vincent Gray is in a tier all by himself. He cost us that one drive where 3 and out. We were going to get the ball back. What are you doing? The ball is like 20 yards ahead of this guy. What are you doing trying to put a chokehold on him? Turn around, look at the ball.
Or just don't run into the receiver and then it's 4th down and then we get the ball back.
They taught us that when I was a Pop Warner in sixth grade.
Wow.
They taught us that. Look at
This guy always trying to bring out the Woodside Warriors. All right, you know what? Shout out to the Woodside Warriors, okay? Fine. We get the shout out to the Woodside Warriors for this week. Good, great. Yes, we made some mistakes. Yes, the defense jumped off sides a lot of times. Yes, the zone mix didn't work as well as we wanted it to. But you know what? All of those things show me. It shows me that at least we're still trying. We're still trying. We're not sticking with the same old, but we're mixing in some different things. Okay?
That is an incorrect.
And again, if it weren't for what should I call it? Small, easily correctable mental errors. Okay? Then this defense could turn things around. Why are you all shaking your heads?
You are delusional.
Come on,
you are
man.
delusional. Let me put the facts out. Let me put the facts out.
At least get it on the record that at least we were in a position to get him off the field numerous times if it weren't for silly penalties. Can I at least get that much from the jury?
That's not even a question. That's not even a question.
What do you mean it's not even a question? The
it's
question
not even.
Is, weren't we still in a position to get off the field if it weren't for silly errors like lining up in the neutral zone? Easily correctable. I mean, it's not like the dude got one eye and he's got some, depth perception issues that we got to get some surgeries on. Come on.
But the thing
is simple stuff that we could clean up.
I don't think we can clean it up. You know why?
Wow.
You know why? Because they're inept. Okay.
I think who's inept? The coaches?
Don Brown and the defensive coaches are inept. You know why? Because
this is the same defense, okay, that shellacked Notre Dame last season, okay, with Ian Book. Do you guys not remember that? We shellacked Notre Dame, okay?
In the torrential rain.
That we got really outclassed in were number 1, Wisconsin, beginning of the year, and number 2, against a team whose name I shall not mention right now because it hurts too much. Other than that, we shellacked people. MSU, shellack. Notre Dame, shellack. We were shellacking people. Come on. You guys can't have selective memories like this, man.
Here's the reason why I don't think it's correctable. You just look at the defensive offsides. Right? No. Don't react to the clap. Look at the freaking ball. And that's what Don Brown should say. Grab the face mask, get into their faces. But it happened the second time, happened a third time, happened a fourth time, happened
a fifth time. In the second half, though. You got to admit, Your Honor, you have to at least give me that. Did it happen in the second half?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Come on.
It happened in the second half.
How many times in the second half?
Oh, my gosh. How are you not going to make that adjustment? 4 touchdowns off of that.
You guys are looking at this too harshly, man. Come on. I mean, Joe Milton's a first-time starter. He's got no offensive line, but he made a lot of great plays. Come on. Can you at least give me that? What are you shaking your head no for?
If you had to ask me, what is one small thing? Yeah, I think Joe Milton showed a little bit of like, hey, he can hit receivers in stride on the deep ball. He showed a little glimmer of hope there. Tarani Bell, Cornelius Johnson.
Don't you dare laugh. Don't you dare.
Dude, if you even JC from Sunnyside from Pop Warner, if he threw enough deep balls, he could hit a player in stride, baby. Come on. Joe Milton. Come on, Joe Milton. The next Cam Newton. Yeah. Come on. Come on.
Joe Milton showed me a lot this last game, okay? He was under duress the whole game, number one. Number two, there was zero running attack that he could balance his passing game against. Can you at least give me that? We had zero run production. Yeah?
Let me put it this way, okay? Defense aside, which is clearly you're delusional about, because even after the first offside penalty, even after the first one, Don Brown should have said, look at the ball. Don't go until you see the ball hike. That's unacceptable. But anyways, I'm going to get off of the defensive side.
Five times.
Now I'm going to talk about the offensive side.
5 times.
I'm going to talk about the offensive side, okay? If you are, I mean, I was astounded by how Gaddis miscalled this whole game. He miscalled everything. He did not give Joe Milton the right kind of plays to build him up in this game. And it showed because there was none of the 5-yard just drop, 5-yard stop, throw the ball to the quickest receiver, let him run for something. Nothing. Constant pass rush by Indiana. It was known that they were going to blitz Joe Milton all day long. And what did they do? They let him stay in the pocket again all day long. And unfortunately, this offensive line was, yes, they're down 2 starters. They're all young. They can't handle these things. And it's disappointing to see that we weren't put in a position. I just heard Mr. Squareheads. Three, was it 3 and out? 3 and out, 3 and out punt, 3 and out punt, 3 and out punt. That's all I heard, because I kept seeing plays being run that were not suited for this game. Not suited for a young quarterback trying to get established. And yes, I agree. Joe Milton did the best that he could, but still, there's just something schematically wrong with our offense and defense that is just alarming.
Hey, you guys saw that article that I sent to you where Jim Harbaugh said even with the loss against State in Indiana, he thinks we're close. This guy's delusional, man. Huh?
Wow.
Delusional.
Wow. I honestly believe that we are close. I really do. In my heart of hearts.
Let's do prediction next week. What do we got?
Wait. Before we do that, then, why don't we do this? Where are we in the state of Michigan football then? Okay, because you guys are making it sound really doom and gloom. But honestly, just take a second and think about it. Where are we right now in the state of Michigan football? Okay, I'll give you some of the gradients. Okay.
I don't need the gradients. I know where we're at right now.
Well, hold on. Are we at Lloyd Carr end of his tenure, where he's losing to Tressel all the time, and he's losing to people like Appalachia State? Are we at Brady Hoke level? Are we at Rich Rod level? Are we at, Lloyd Carr right after, winning the championship? Where are we in the state of Michigan football? Honest assessment, though, not emotional, because I understand all of you are really emotional right now. Honest assessment. Where is the Michigan Wolverines football program in year 6 of Jim Harbaugh in relation to that scale?
Are we ready now? Can I speak? Can I speak?
Sure.
May I say something? We are at, if you're going by that scale, we're at Brady Hulk level, soon to be declining. We are, it's ironic because, you know, like, in science, in nature, there's a situation where in an ecosystem, there is a fire that needs to have happen in order for regrowth and rebirth to happen, in order for new seedlings to spring out so that new life can happen. And I believe right now is the time where we need to burn everything to the ground and start again.
God.
There's no fixing it in year 6 now. There's no more fixing it anymore, unfortunately. There's no more, okay, we'll just hire from within. It needs to have happen now. Unless, or if you're okay with 8-4 every year, losing the bowl game, I mean, there's nothing in the record in any of the data that suggests that anything's going to be better.
This is what I've been saying since Jim Harbaugh stepped onto campus. This is what I've been saying. I said that the Michigan football program has just become mediocre, and now we're just complacent with what producer JB just said, 8-4, going to a bowl game, possibly winning, possibly losing. And then every preseason we get together and everybody, unnamed guest, producer JB, JC from Sunnyside, Big Reg, we're going to go 12-0. We're going to go 12-1. Oh, Shea Patterson, Heisman Trophy winner. Joe Milton, the next Cam Newton. And I always said we're going to go 8-4, maybe 9-3. This season, I said 3-6. We might not even get there. What'd I say? You know where we're at? I'd rather have unnamed guests coach this team for the rest of the season than have this clown. This clown. Huh?
Oh my God.
I think we have a better chance.
You guys are nuts. You guys are nuts. All right.
We are, I would say right now, like year 3 of the Brady Hoke era. We're back there. You know, we're like 500. You know, we'll go to a meaningless bowl game. We'll end up losing that game and just feel really miserable about Michigan football. That's where we are. And you know what the real thing is? I think Harbaugh's a little self-delusional. I think he's a little self-delusional. There's a quote here. One reason feedback is so important is that people are great at self-delusion. There's nobody to give Harbaugh any feedback about his poor performance right now. There's nobody. Nobody's telling him, listen, you need to shape up. You need to hold Don Brown accountable. There's nothing, none of that going on. You know, even the athletic director, the AD, I start thinking about him. What are you doing to push Harbaugh? What are you doing?
Wow.
A little bit like you, Reg, a little self-delusional today. Also, a little bit, Big Reg. You know, I was watching, I just want to be happy. I was watching Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, and I was watching Pippi and Merrin just jumping on Frodo's bed, you know, and just frolicking and just being so happy. I just want to go to your bed, Reg, when you're awake and just jump in with you and give a big hug and just be so happy. Just be joyous.
We just want to be happy, Reg.
Pure
We just
joy.
want to be happy.
I just want pure joy because Michigan football made it. Because we made it. But yeah, we're so.
Yeah, we just want to be happy, Reg.
Oh, Frodo.
The season's over, Reg.
Oh.
That's the song I want to play, Reg. I'm frolicking in your bed.
All right. Point number one, if I may, Your Honor. No one's frolicking in my okay? Let's just establish that right now. Okay? Know it. Point number two, okay? Man, oh man. I'm at a loss for words at the level of despair of Michigan Nation right now, at the state of Michigan Wolverines football. I mean, yeah, we've had a couple bad beats in a row. I'm not going to deny that. And yeah, we've looked bad going down. I'm not going to deny that. Okay. But do I think that Jim Harbaugh could turn this bird around? I think he can. I still think he can do it. I see you all shaking your heads no, but I still think he can do it.
There was quite a pause there, Big Reg.
No, because you got to think about the things that he's already done. You know what I'm saying? He cut ties with Pep Hamilton. You know what I mean? Remember that when
He was horrible.
When he was looking at the situation, it was like, all right, you know what? The state of affairs. Even though you got to admit now, again, you could look at the bad, but you also got to look at the good. There was a lot of games where Pep Hamilton put a shellacking on a lot of tough hombres. Okay, you gotta admit the fact that there were times when we shellacked Penn State, Wisconsin, et cetera, et cetera. The only people that we never really shellacked, okay, was OSU. Okay, but other than that, yeah, we got beat up a couple times, but we also beat up other people a lot of times as well. You know what I'm saying? So you got to take the good along with the bad. You know what I'm saying? Because I think right now you guys are taking the lowest of the lows and just riding those all the way down the hill without acknowledging that, you know what? In these past 6 years, there have been some good moments as well. That's all I'll say right now. But I truly think that Jim Harbaugh could still turn this bird around. Now,
When you listen to him post conference after the game, there's nothing about his demeanor, his words, his game planning that he says that instills any sense of encouragement. I mean, if he came out and said, "This is unacceptable. We cannot have this happen." He doesn't say any of that.
yeah, but think about what you're wanting him to do. He's gonna get up there and just blast a bunch of 20-year-olds. You know what I mean? In front of
It's not a matter.
press?
It's not a matter.
Hey, you know what?
It's not a matter.
I hate so and so. You know what? I think so and so sucks. He's not gonna do
No.
that. Come on, guys.
That's
shouldn't
not even-
do
that's not
that.
even it.
Come on.
That's not even it.
Come on. You guys.
That's
come on.
not even
You
it.
guys are being just emotional right now because yes, the hurt is raw. It's raw because we're reaching these kinds of depths that we have not seen in a long time. But I'm saying this. There's still enough that I've seen in this past Indiana game that says to me that we can still turn this season around and get some really good feelings from it. I feel for some of the kids on the team right now, but I
Did you
truly
see-
believe that we can still make something of this season.
I honestly wish your emotion was what Jim Harbaugh actually did. I honestly wish that he could encourage and excite his players to be able to do something like that. Did
You
you
don't think
see
he's
Tom
doing
Allen?
that? You don't think Don Brown?
No,
did that?
I'm sorry. Did you see the
on.
sideline? Did you
Don
see the
Brown is
sideline of
guy
what
that
he's
said,
doing?
you know what? We gotta put these two big hairs right on the table. You don't think he's doing that every day at Chef Beckler Hall, trying to push our young people to higher heights that they ever thought that they could achieve? Come on.
No.
Did you see Tom
Wow.
Allen on the sideline, Indiana? Did you see Tom Allen? He is one of. I mean, it's kind of like a dichotomy of what a head coach should be about and what a head coach is. And if you see if you watch that national broadcast, any kind of recruit would be like, man, Tom Allen is really invested in his players. Like, he's like jumping up and down. He's celebrating. Even the national broadcasters were commenting on what's going on the sidelines in each of the sides. And it's that's how disheartening it is. That's how disheartening it is.
If I were Quiddy, Jalen Mayfield, Aiden Hutchinson's advisors, I'd say stop playing, get ready for the draft. The season is over. The season is over. Play the young players. You know, we'll lose probably all our games except for maybe 1 or 2. We'll have 3 wins for the season. 3 wins. 3 wins. Rutgers and maybe Maryland. You know, Rutgers will be tight. We'll be tight, but I'm going to give Rutgers a win and make Maryland.
Wow. You think Rutgers is going to be a tight game? I'm at a loss for words right now. Wow.
I mean, we're not the team that we thought we were. Let's just, you know, I don't know, Mr. Squarehead, he always predicts this, and he, you know, any fool can roll a snake eyes, right? Once in a while, okay? but you know, we're not a good team. We're just not a good team right now.
Right now. The past 2 games, no. But I'm telling you, guys, come on. You didn't see a little sparkle? At least a little sparkle. Little seed of hope in there somewhere in this last game. The way that Joe Milton was able to move around in the pocket, but still keep his head up, look for receivers downfield, and still make the throw on time, on target to Ronnie Bell. Those kind of things. And yeah, we had a couple drops by our big tight ends again, Nick Eubanks, and I don't even want to mention it again, but you know who I'm talking about because I don't want to jinx him anymore. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there was a lot of things that, you know what, that were disheartening, but I'm telling you, it's close, man. A couple passes that are caught here and there, and this game looks a whole lot different. Come on.
If it was 1 or 2 plays, maybe I could buy what you're saying. But it was the 5 offsides penalties, the defensive holding, defensive pass interference, the drop balls, the missed assignments on the O-line. It was everything, every facet of the game. So I don't know how you can say we're close. I don't know how you can say we're close. We lost by 17. The game was over after the halftime. It was over pretty much. You know, it was over. And, you know, unfortunately, Madia and Mofia, who were watching the game with me, who were very excited last year when they went to the big house for the first time, said in the 4th quarter, hey, Dad, we're pretty bad.
Oh.
Reg, my kid said to me, why didn't you and Mom go to a better football school?
Oof.
All 7 of my kids.
7.
How'd you get 7?
I picked up some.
Wow.
What are you,
We
Larry
should make
Johnson?
a new rule. We should make a new rule. Don't bring the kids up because you know what? That's not fair. That's not fair. Come on. It's not fair. What can I say to that? Disappointing children? Like, what arguments can I bring up against that? There's no arguments against that. Oh my gosh. I don't know.
So here, let me ask you, what's the number one thing we got to shore up? We got a lot of things to shore up, but what's the priority? What's the priority to shore up right now?
Here's honestly, here's what it is. In my estimation. Again, I'm not an X's and O's guy. I'm not a footballer genius. I'm not a coaching genius, okay? But in my eyes, they got to stop playing scared, whether it's offense or defense. All those drop passes, all the playmakers not making plays, that comes down to thinking too much about can I make this play or not, instead of just making the play. You know what I'm saying? Especially at the cornerback positions, et cetera, yada, yada, yada. Because those are the big play type of scenarios. And then all those drop passes and things like that. So for me, it's about getting out of their own way so that they can just make the plays. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the kid, the freshman. What was his name? Roman Wilson? He had some pretty good spots in there. And the other young fella from last season, Cornelius Johnson, right? He had that beautiful touchdown. Can you at least admit that it was a beautiful touchdown that him and Joe Milton connected on? Yeah. Can you at least give us?
I mean, you know, we scored 21 points. You know,
No, but Cornelius Johnson made a beautiful catch.
that was a nice catch.
He got the separation he needed. Joe Milton made the right read, and that pass was right on the money. Come on. You got to at least give us that. And then the other play, like I was mentioning before, when Joe Milton was moving around the pocket, kept his head up in a swivel, and then he found Ronnie Bell, who was still working hard to get open downfield. And then he made a beautiful throw to Ronnie Bell in stride. That's a beautiful play.
But here's the thing, Big Reg. I can birdie a hole in an 18 hole.
Come on.
But I'll still shoot a 105. I'll still shoot over 100. I'll birdie a hole, but I'll still shoot 100. You know?
Yeah, but that's because you have a weird swing, man. We all know this. Come on.
Reggie, Big Reg. The team, the players are just not good enough. They're just not good enough.
Wow.
The talent isn't there. The coaching isn't there. Like producer JB said, it's a fire all situation. It's a fire. There's nothing. You know what? One thing that needs to happen is a spark. It only takes a spark to start a fire. And we need to start a fire, Reg.
No, it's unacceptable that we have before the season started, one of the best defensive lines in the country. And MSU and Indiana, 0 sacks. 0. We have 0. That's unacceptable. That's on coaching.
I don't know what to say. Well, oh, man. Where to go with that one? Cheese or Pete's? Yeah, there's no
excuse for 0 sacks in 2 games.
Yeah.
One of the best defensive lines in the country.
I mean, if you look at the raw numbers, then yes, there's no excuse. Because how can you go 2 games in a row with 0 sacks? How can you go, with such little pressure on the opposing quarterback? When we're facing an Indiana team that was ranked dead last in the Big Ten and one of the worst in the country on third down conversions, and we let them convert at an almost astonishing rate. That's what happened this last game. So I admit all those things. I admit them. Okay? But here's what I see. All those things that we did to enable Indiana can be corrected. That's all I'm saying. It can be corrected. Anyway, this is I don't know. You guys are clearly of the mindset that we need to move on from Harbaugh and company. Yes? Is that a fair statement?
No, it's a consideration now. It's a consideration. I've never had that as a consideration before, but now it's a consideration.
JB, obviously, squarehead, both in the fire Harbaugh camp. Is that correct?
My first step is to fire Don Brown. And if that doesn't enact any change for the rest of the season, then and if we show as poorly as we do these last 2 games, then yes, I am in the let's burn it up.
Wow. Wow. Starting all over again. Oh boy. Yowzers. At this rate, I'm going to be collecting Social Security before Michigan contends again.
I don't think so. I don't think it's if we get the right person here, I think people can be excited about it and do it.
Come on. All right, let me just give you guys this scenario, okay? Okay. Let me just remind you guys of this, okay? Look at Texas, okay? Look at Tennessee. Look at Florida. Look at who else? USC.
You mean
These are
Florida? You mean Florida that just beat Georgia? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, Florida that's never been to the playoffs, that's never won any kind of SEC championship, that hasn't performed in God knows how many years, ever since Steve Spurrier had a couple good seasons. Okay, these are all teams that are well funded, have a history of success in the past, et cetera, yada yada yada, but that are struggling at the moment. Florida State is another one. I mean, we could go on and on. We could talk about, yeah, let's get a new guy in here. But all 5 of those schools have had similar experiences to us. The only difference being they've churned through a lot more coaches than we have. And what has it gotten them? What has it gotten them? So why do we think that we're going to be any different than any of those schmoes by firing Jim Harbaugh? What do we think is going to be different for us than Texas, Tennessee, Florida, Florida State, what was the last guy I said? USC, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What's going to be different for the University of Michigan that all of a sudden, once we fire Harbaugh, everything is going to be, nice and rosy, Sauron and the Ring of Power into Mount Doom, melting along with Gollum, and then having a bunch of, what do you call them? Hobbits dancing on a bed. What's going to happen there?
Because we're going to give $20 million a year to Urban Meyer to come. That's why. That's what's going to be different.
What are you talking about now?
Yep. What? Hire Urban. Fire Harbaugh. Hire Urban. Fire Harbaugh. Hire Urban. Fire Harbaugh. Hire Urban. Give me a freaking break. I don't care, man. The whole coaching staff needs to go and start with this dude.
Those 5 schools you mentioned, they're all better than us.
What?
They're all better than us.
What?
Florida's better than us.
Florida State is better than us?
Florida's better than us. They shellacked us in the bowl game.
USC is better than us? No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, they are.
Gosh, none of you guys are. Whoa. Baby. Are you kidding me? Tennessee is better than us? Tennessee? Really? Tennessee?
They might be. I mean, they're better than MSU. They're better than MSU, which means the transitive property.
How is Tennessee better than MSU? What?
Because MSU really sucks. That means that we really suck.
I agree with you. MSU really sucks. Yes, I agree with you on that point.
How do we lose to MSU at home to a first-year coach? I mean, granted, there's nobody in the stands. Maybe 4 or 5 people in the stands.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
won.
It's in the big house, and they're on the road with the first-year coach. How do we lose? Jim Harbaugh should have been fired after the 3rd quarter in that game.
Wow.
He should have been fired at halftime during Indiana. And then you know what? Here's the next chance. They should fire him as they're coming out to play Wisconsin. They should be like, Coach. You don't have to do this one. You can sit this one out. We got a bus for you. Go home.
Oh my gosh! Wow,
it's got to be on the table if we go under 500 this season.
Oh, we're going under 500, Gary. The only way we would beat Wisconsin is if they got COVID again and they had to, They had to forfeit. That's the only way we will beat Miss Wisconsin this coming weekend. 0 chance.
Yeah, man. Oh. Well, I don't know what else we can discuss tonight. It's clear that everyone has just yeah. I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
It speaks to a lot of anger that Michigan Nation is having right now, and a lot of disappointment that in year 6, it's unacceptable. It's still unacceptable. So you can't fault fans for feeling like this. And if there were more signs of glimmer, more signs of hope, it would be helpful. But I've lost some faith now. I've lost some faith. I don't know how else to explain it. If anyone in our group asked if producer JB believed in his team, I think everyone would agree, yes, he's pretty much optimistic about this team every year. This year has put me over the edge.
We're unranked. We're not even getting votes to be mentioned in the honorable mention section of the rankings. We have a bunch of 4- and 5-star players. Player development has been horrible.
Oof.
It's just, there's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse for us to not be.
But how can we say player development has been horrible when literally there has been a pipeline to the NFL?
Because that's a mirage. That's a mirage because
how is that a mirage?
Because if there was true player development, those 6th rounders would actually be 3rd rounders, right? Those 7th rounders would be 5th rounders. Just because they get drafted doesn't necessarily mean that there has been progress or development. I understand, Big Reg, you're trying to be Sam Wise. The 3 of us were like in the doors of Mount Mordor. We're like, we can't go, and you're trying to carry us to the lava, Mr. Samwise Gamgee, right now. But right now I'm saying, I just want to go back to the Shire.
He wants to go back to the Shire.
Samwise.
Listen, I'm just saying things are not as bleak as we're making them out to be right now. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I guess in the opposite feeling then, how much longer do you think it's going to take in order for us to go over this hump? Realistically, it's not this year. So what, next year?
Let's be honest. This year, even in the season preview show, I said that this year was going to be a wonky year, right? It was, because we said, with all the COVID restrictions, limiting practice time, this, that, and the other, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. The teams that had returning starters in key positions, for example, at quarterback, were going to do better than teams that were trying to break in new players at these key critical positions. Quarterback and offense, cornerback, defensive backs on defense. You know what I'm saying? Offensive line, the positions that need cohesion, repetition, practice, reps, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And if you haven't noticed, these are the positions that Michigan has had to replenish due to not attrition due to just graduation, but attrition due to people moving on to the next level of their football career in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So we knew it was going to be a tough season. We knew it. Okay. But gosh darn it, these kids and these coaches are, in my eyes, still making progress toward getting better. Yes, there's been a lot of hiccups, a lot of bumps and bruises, et cetera, yada, yada, yada. But I still believe that this team can turn it around. Because I've seen these glimmers of hope, whether it be Blake Corum taking a short swing pass and then outrunning the opposition. Remember that first touchdown against Michigan State? Remember that? the defender from Michigan State had him dead to rights, but Blake Corum used his speed to outrun the angle that the defender had on him and scamper into the end zone for a touchdown. Remember that?
Yeah,
That was-
there's my birdie. There's my birdie. There's my birdie. That's my birdie.
But see, here's the thing. You got to make these birdies to build up your confidence to get more birdies. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that this team could continue to build up their confidence and continue to build on these small successes in the midst of a lot of these struggles. Cornelius Johnson making that beautiful catch. Nick Eubanks, after he dropped that first pass and hit him right in the chest, he made that big catch in the third or fourth quarter. I can't remember because I drank too many of these right now. But Nick Eubanks, remember, he made a big catch to keep a drive alive. And then the other thing with kids like Ronnie Bell, showing a lot of heart, still fighting, still caring. That shows me a lot. So I believe that this team could continue to fight and get better and not give up on this season like so many of our fans have. So many people are just down in the dumps. But guys, I don't believe these kids, yes, they're disappointed. Yes, they're hurt. Yes, they're angry. But I don't believe that these kids will stop fighting. I don't believe that these kids will stop trying. I don't believe that these kids will stop practicing and try and get better. So
Reg.
that's what gives me hope that
Big
this
Reg,
season
Big
is
Reg,
not
Big
over.
Reg. Michigan basically evaluates their season on the OSU game. Would you agree to that?
No.
Why is it that Ohio State
Traditionally,
why is it that Ohio State
Big Ten championships.
why is it that Ohio State doesn't have rebuilding? Why is it that they can develop players and not miss a beat, and they're always one, maybe even two losses away from an undefeated season? When's the last time Ohio State had 3 losses or even 4 losses in the last 10 years?
It's easy. They got a bag man, dude. When
They
you
got
get
a bag, man. Come on, that's an excuse.
lot of recruits.
Oh, you know what? Michigan needs to get a
Okay.
bag, man.
When
You know
have a school that says, you know what, you don't have to go to
Oh,
classes.
okay.
It's
You know what they
easier
should do?
to get
They should take
recruits.
They should take all
I
the
mean,
money
this
they're giving to
goes
Jim
real
Harbaugh
back.
and get
This
a
goes
bag
real
man.
back.
They
Like,
should
if
get
they
a
say,
bag
hey,
man.
You don't got to go to class. A lot of people are going to be like, okay, sounds better to me. For what it is, Michigan says, you know what? We'd like our student athletes to actually be students as well. Unlike a lot of schools, like an OSU,
I
like
don't care.
schools.
But I don't care. I don't care. Football players,
Wow.
who cares? Don't go
Wow.
to class. Don't go to class. Get a bag man. As long as they can win championships. Who cares about going to class if you're a football player?
Wow.
Stop
This is
paying
where-
Jim Harbaugh $7-8 million a year. Get a bag man and start paying the players then.
This is where I did digress from Squarehead.
Yeah. I gotta draw a line somewhere.
No, there's no line. The line is, you know where it is? It's when this guy's gone. That's where the line is.
All right. Anyway, you know what? We've gone on too long. We're not getting anywhere. We're still at where we're at. I still have hope for the season. I still see good things for the season. Obviously, I am in the minority, the small minority.
So what do you expect to have for the prediction for the rest of the season here? Overall record.
Me specifically?
Yeah. We're 1-2 right now.
I believe that this Michigan squad will continue to become more consistent. And in doing so, it will allow the coaches to open up the playbook more and more. And in doing so with that, it will bring more success to this Michigan Wolverines offense and put less pressure on the Michigan Wolverines defense. And
Dude,
all
stop,
those
stop skirting the question and give us a prediction.
I just told you.
What was the
that this
prediction?
team is gonna be better and better.
Oh, better and better. Come on, man. What are you running? You running for office? Give me an answer. We got what? 5 games left. What's your number?
Do I think we can run the table?
Come on, spit it out, Big Reg.
I think we can. I think we can.
Oh, Samwise.
Because who do we have? We got Wisconsin. We got Rutgers. We've got Maryland.
Penn State.
Penn State. Penn
Uh-huh.
State's not doing too well. And then finally, the OSU. Do I think we can keep building upon week after week until we get to the point where we can beat OSU? I think we can. I think we can. I still believe that Jones is the kind of kid that can put in the time and effort to continue to get better. I still believe that. I really do. I really do.
So, I mean, out of a 9-game schedule, right? Because we have one more game at the end that we have to play.
What?
You're saying we're going to run all the way through? So we're going to be 7-2?
I believe we can.
Delusional.
I believe we can. I mean, yeah, I think we can do it. I think we can do it.
I think exactly opposite of you. I think we're probably going to go 2-7.
Oh.
Wow. Wow.
I think we're going to get lucky one game. There's going to be one game that we're lucky.
No, I'm not that pessimistic. We're bad right now to what we've been in the last 4 years. We might go 5-4 because the bowl game we're playing, maybe the second or third place team, right, in the Big Ten West. But we're not good right now. We are not good, and those NFL players may not play anymore. Why would you want to play? And risk injury.
Box Lee.
My prediction, I said it before the season started, 3-6, and I'm sticking with 3-6. I think we beat Rutgers, and we have a lucky game. We were able to eke out a win, possibly against Maryland or Penn State, but I'm sticking with 3-6.
I just gotta, for the record, I just gotta say I did predict a loss at Indiana during the first show. I did predict the loss at Indiana. Just want to put that out there.
Why do you always go for self-glory?
Because
Everyone said it was a trap game.
Oh my gosh. All right. Anyway, this wow. This wow. I was expecting some dour comments. I was expecting some disappointment, but man, oh man, the wave of negativity that has been just spewed forth in this session, it almost overwhelmed me. But I was able to stay strong. Just barely. Just holding on. Man, this was a rough one to get through. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
It'll be a rough one to watch.
Are we sure that Miss Wisconsin has enough players to get through COVID protocols for the game this weekend? Has that been confirmed?
There's a 21-day requirement for players who test positive for COVID in the Big Ten. We are one of the strictest conferences with this COVID one.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because they've already canceled 2 games for them. This is the 3rd week. So are they going to have enough players to make sure that this game could go off? Do we know that yet or not yet?
I've read that
I
it's
think-
still 50-50 as to whether the game even happens.
Oof.
I'm not sure about the
I think
players.
Yeah, I think it depends on how they test this week, and if there's still consistently people who test positive, then
Yep.
I wouldn't doubt that they, or even Michigan might be like, we're not going to play.
Yeah, that's the only way they will not lose this weekend.
Holy smokes.
And
Wow.
Jim Harbaugh, this guy might actually pull that and say, hey, oh, my players, I don't want them to get COVID. I don't want to lose this weekend. Let's not play. Oh, keep them safe.
Or he might be like, hey, let's all get COVID so that, for 3 weeks we don't have to play a game and not lose.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. That's even better.
Goodness. Wow.
I don't know what's.
JC from Sunnyside.
Yao Ming. Holy smokes. The level of despair and despondency. It's at an all-time high right now. I haven't seen these levels since the Rich Rod days. Holy smokes. Anyway.
I feel that same way. I do feel that same way.
Gosh. Anything else, folks? If not, then we got to call this. Holy
There's
smokes.
no fight. There's no fight in this team. That's the worst part. There's no fight.
I wish we could bottle what we had during the Minnesota game.
I long for those feelings. I long for them.
Oh, well. We are what we are right now. Wishes and dreams ain't going to get it done. It's going to be hard work and dedication. Anywho, anything else? If not, I guess we'll sign off. We raise our glasses still to the team, Coach Harbaugh and the staff, wishing them the best this coming weekend against Wisconsin. We say go blue.
Go blue.
Go blue.
Go blue.